Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 16th of June, 2024. Incredible. That is right, my friends. Once again, I have returned to you, this time with another fragrance rotation video. And this week has been another week of absolutely poverty-stricken weather. Absolutely awful weather. The weather has been absolutely foul. It has rained every day. It has been grey every day. It's been like British summer, really. I don't recommend living in England full stop, really, but especially not in the summer. It's shite. Not to worry, though. My fragrance choices have reflected that, and I did rotate to summer rotation, and it's not been looking good. I've struggled a little bit, but I have got through. There are some fragrances I have which will go with summer rain, you know. It's also been cold. I had to put the fucking central heating on the other day. It was that kind of cold, you know? But not to worry. We will start at the beginning. And on Monday, we wore a classic. And this is Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. This is my early 2000s bottle, I want to say. Maybe 90s bottle. Around that kind of area. It is an absolute classic. And it's a classic for a reason. The classics are usually classics for a reason. And this is absolutely one of my favourite perfumes. I love this stuff. It was released in 1973. It was made by Jean Martel. It has that classic fougere structure. It's got like rosemary, sage, lavender, tonka, oak moss, some kind of honey kind of thing, but not like an animalic honey or a sweet kind of honey. I can't explain it. You would just have to kind of smell it to know what I was talking about. For me, this is a year-round perfume. You can wear this anytime. It will adapt for you, you know. Unsure if I've reviewed this, but maybe I should. It's clean and fresh, but warm and cozy and soapy and a little musky. It's just fantastic, you know. I don't think you get Kouros without this fragrance. I don't think you get a lot of those massive 80s like powerhouses without this fragrance, but it's not actually one of them, you know. You can tell they all kind of stem out from like the trunk or the roots of Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. It's a never-ending fractal, is perfume. And this is one of the greats. And it is great. I absolutely love it. That's a huge dint I've put in this. But I was eyeing up my vintage bottles the other day. I've got a lot of vintages of this. I should really start cracking into them. Maybe I will give this to Richie G and start wearing my vintage ones. Although I do really like this version. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Okay, next. Next I wore something completely different. And this is by Jean-Claude Ellena. And it is for Hermès, and it is Vetiver Tonka. Another great fragrance. You could probably wear this year-round. Maybe not on the highest of high heat or the coldest of cold, you know? It's the coldest of deep cold, I should say. This is green, but it's warm, it's fresh. It shows off a lot of the vetiver, but it's still quite complex, even though it's very simple. It's like 3 notes, I think. Vetiver, tonka, and like hazelnut. It doesn't feel like there's a lot else going on in there. I'm sure there is. There's other like materials being used to like make it give off that kind of, all them different facets, all the different facets of Tonka, which is a very complex note in and of itself, and then all the different facets of Vetiver, which is a very complex note in and of itself, and they kind of communicate through this hazelnut bridge that's like between them. It's a fantastic composition. It's very easy to wear. You will smell nice. You will smell a bit different. It's popular and popular for a reason. I have this gigantic 200ml bottle. Performance is actually really good on this. I'm not sure what it's like these days, but my bottle is very good performance. Like, as are like a few of those Hermes Essence are actually quite good. Okay, next up, I kind of wore something that's a little bit in between these two, actually, now I look at it. And this is by one of, if not my favourite perfumer, Gerard Anthony. And this is Homme de Grès. This was released in the mid-90s, so it's a kind of like a fresh chypre for men sort of thing, you know, bergamot, lime, musk, jasmine, sandalwood, a shit ton of oak moss. Does have a bit of that smoke moss thing going on in the dry down. It's absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. And I whack it on when I wear it as well. I absolutely rave about this. If you can still find it out there, go for it. Performance is great. It's like an 80s tennis sort of vibe. Right fragrance at the wrong time, I think. If this had been released 10 years earlier, it would have been a smash hit. But it was released in the same year as Amen. It was released in the same year as like Le Male, or within the same 12 months. Excuse me. Acqua di Gio as well. Tough field to stand out in. But this is absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend it if you were into vintage fragrances or fragrances with a vintage feel and you want something fresh to go with it. Speaking of fragrances with a vintage feel, next up we have an absolute stalwart of the vintage community, and this is Iquitos. This is my bottle of Iquitos. Unfortunately, the sprayer was dead when I was taking possession of this, so I decanted it into this lovely little bottle. And the sprayer on this is fantastic, and I absolutely stank of it all day. One of those gigantic note listings that some vintage fragrances have, but I get this kind of fruity, green, slightly spicy top, like nutmegs in there, definitely. Aldehydes, jasmine, rose, lily, iris, big iris in there. And then the base is like a old school clinic. It's like sandalwood, leather, oak moss, civet, all that stuff, you know. And it's beautiful, and the performance is massive. This was famously a rejected submission for Dior Poison. But it's gorgeous. I think this is another Gerard Anthony, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it was. That's right. That's two in a row. I was feeling a little bit of Gerard Anthony. I should have whipped out the Balenciaga Pour Homme. Not to worry. Okay, next we have something slightly green, but also completely different. And I do get greenness from this. And this is Towers Nexin. I must have put 30 sprays of this on because the sprayer is fucking atrocious. It is awful. I thought Tower had sorted out his sprayers. Apparently not. There's no need for sprayers to be this shite. I don't understand it. It has to be on purpose by now. He must have heard from people. Somebody must have told him. I wish that it wasn't the case, but it is the case. So I have to put on if I put 30 sprays of this on, it's like putting 7 or 8 sprays on of a normal perfume, of a normal sprayer, you know? Not even a good sprayer, a normal sprayer. But the perfume is absolutely beautiful. It's like lemon leaf, lemon, what's it called? It's not just lemon, it's like lemon leaf or something. Geranium, I get a huge geranium in this, which is gorgeous. Vetiver, ambergris, bergamot, iris, sandalwood. This is amazing. I love it. I love how creamy and fresh and green it is. Blossom, lemon blossom. Lemon blossom. That's what it is. And it's got this fresh, clean, creamy, soft. It's just natural kind of smell about it. It smells like nature. It smells like it smells like a combination of things that you would think occur in nature. The ingredients are obviously great. They only made 1,000 bottles and I've got like 2 or 3 of them, which I'm very pleased about because I can see myself running through this. I love it. I absolutely love it. It can still be found at some retail stores, but they're usually really obscure ones in deepest Europe somewhere. So look out if you know anywhere. Okay, next up, yesterday, Saturday, I wore, as my scent of the day, one of my brand new purchases. And this is Vetiver de Pierre by L'Atelier Français de Mathieu. This is vetiver, chocolate, tonka, and tobacco. And it's blended beautifully and the ingredients are stunning. And this is the first time I've worn it as a perfume, as a scent of the day. It's only a 30ml bottle and that is painful. But I love it. And I loved wearing it. It was really nice. Does it feel like... It doesn't feel like a Les Indémodables because it doesn't feel as expansive. It doesn't feel as rounded, as finished. It's the only word I can use is finished. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles. This is much more stripped back, but it's very dense. You know, it's still very thick and rich. As they all are, but it doesn't have all those kind of, it's not like an all singing, all dancing perfume. I could find it very hard to explain. It might be a little unfair to compare it to the Les Indémodables because they are exceptional and they are finished and they are all the things I've just said and more. But this is amazing, and it's an amazing wear, and it's very expensive. It's like £3 a mil. It's like, you're talking like Tom Ford prices for what it is, but it's so much better than anything Tom Ford's made in a decade, to be honest with you. Like, by far. The vetiver's gorgeous. It's a similar vetiver to what is in Escalon Indonesi. That's Escalon Haiti, sorry. Escalon Haiti. It's the same vetiver. But it doesn't have that oof. It doesn't have that cologne structure. It's much deeper and thicker. Okay, my scent of the day. My scent of the day is certainly not a new pickup. It's a fragrance I've had for a long time, and I've been through some from another bottle, but this is Eau de Soude. Eau de Soude. This is lime, This is bergamot, galbanum, basil, lemon vervain, vetiver, oak moss, all the green stuff. Mint even mint. It's got all the greenness. And it doesn't perform that well, but you just spray this on again. You know, you just reapply. It's so nice and so fresh and so green. And again, like I said before about that kind of 80s tennis thing, you know? Oh, it's so nice. You can still get it. The people who know the new one say that it smells just as good. I don't know. I've never smelled the new one, I don't think, but I love this version. It's fucking fabulous. And you can expect to see a review one day on it. But that is it, my friends. This has been my fragrance rotation. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon.